Trade between the U.S. and Canada is big business, and earlier today I spoke with Ontario Premier Doug Ford. The province is Canada's largest trading partner with the U.S. In the first 3 quarters of 2024, roughly $683 billion in goods and services crossed the U.S.-Canada border. That is nearly $2.5 billion every day.
Massive shifts are happening in the RV world, and they will affect you. From national park staffing cuts to skyrocketing RV costs, things are changing fast. Fewer rangers, limited services, higher prices. If you RV, camp, or love public lands, you need to hear this. No fluff, just facts. Let's get rolling. National parks across America are facing significant challenges due to recent cuts in seasonal staffing.
Regional hiring freeze at national parks has sparked a lot of concern, with officials saying it could hurt the park's operations and the local economies too. Our Southern Utah correspondent Cannon Seacrest explains how the freeze, part of federal budget cuts under the Trump administration, could impact our famous national parks.
Nearly 1,400 job offers for seasonal workers have been withdrawn, adding pressure to an already strained system. These workers are essential for everything from running visitor centers to maintaining trails and campgrounds. The situation is particularly concerning because park staffing has dropped 15% over the past 15 years. While visitor numbers have increased by 16%, visitors will likely experience reduced services, including fewer rangers on duty, less frequent trail maintenance, and limited restroom cleaning. Some visitor centers may operate with restricted hours or close completely. The staffing shortage also raises safety concerns, as emergency response times could increase. Parks are increasingly relying on volunteers to help with daily operations, but this may not be enough to maintain the usual standard of service. For those planning park visits, it's essential to check park websites before your trip for current service updates. Remember to bring all necessary supplies and follow leave no trace principles to help maintain the parks. Be prepared for busier trails and reduced services, and please be patient with park staff as they're doing their best with limited resources. Former President Donald Trump's executive order in January 2025, titled "Restoring Names That Honor American Greatness," has sparked significant debate across North America. The order calls for renaming Denali back to Mount McKinley and changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Same thing with Mexico. We have a massive deficit with Mexico, and we help Mexico a lot. They're essentially run by the cartels, and can't let that happen. Mexico's really in trouble, a lot of trouble. Very dangerous place. And we're going to be announcing a future date pretty soon. We're going to change, because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing, sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them.
The proposed change to Denali, North America's highest peak, has met strong resistance from Alaska's political leadership. Senators Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan, along with State Senator Scott Kawasaki, support keeping the name Denali, which honors the mountain's deep significance to Alaska Native peoples. Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico has triggered international concerns. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has specifically urged Google to maintain the current name on its maps, citing established United Nations naming conventions. These naming proposals from the Trump administration have ignited broader discussions about how to balance different historical and cultural perspectives. The debate centers on whether to prioritize naming locations after American historical figures or to maintain names that reflect indigenous heritage and international relationships. Recent trade policy changes are set to impact the recreational vehicle, RV industry as new 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports take effect. These changes are expected to raise costs for both RV manufacturers and buyers. The tariffs will particularly affect RV production costs, since many manufacturers depend on parts from Canada and Mexico. This includes crucial components like chassis for Class B and C motorhomes, which are often imported from these countries. Popular Canadian RV brands, such as Pleasureway, may need to increase their prices to offset the higher costs. The RV Industry Association has voiced serious concerns about these developments. Their president, Craig Kirby, warns that the situation could worsen if Canada and Mexico respond with their own tariffs, further disrupting the supply chain. The impact extends beyond RVs alone. The broader automotive sector, which is essential for RV production, is already seeing stock market effects. For RV buyers, these changes likely mean higher prices ahead.
Years ago, when I was covering these topics, the International Monetary Fund said before COVID that we were headed for a recession. And the primary reason that they cited for the recession was Trump's trade war with China, these silly tariffs and the trade war that he started and then lost with China. And so if past is prologue, it's not going to work. It's going to, Donald Trump himself said recently, I think yesterday or today, that there should be some pain expected. And for the people that voted for him and actually believed him, which is stunning to me that anyone would.
The full impact will depend on how trade negotiations develop and whether Canada and Mexico implement retaliatory measures.
Anyone would, but that actually believed him, that he cared about the middle class and cared about lowering the price of groceries. I don't think that he campaigned on causing people pain, but that's what he's saying now by doing these completely voluntary tariffs that crashed our economy into a recession the last time he did it.
Industry experts recommend that consumers planning RV purchases should stay informed about market changes and consider timing their purchases accordingly. California's vehicle emission regulations are facing significant changes that could affect the RV industry.
The California Air Resource Control Board, or CARB, is looking to transition all medium to heavy-duty vehicles to zero emission by the year 2036. And sales of all new passenger vehicles sold must be zero emission by 2035.
In January 2025, California's Air Resources Board withdrew its request to implement the Advanced Clean Fleets rule, which would have required commercial trucks to transition to zero-emission vehicles. However, the existing Advanced Clean Trucks regulation remains in effect. This rule, adopted in 2021, requires manufacturers to gradually increase their sales of zero-emission medium and heavy-duty vehicles through 2035. Since many motorhomes fall into these vehicle categories, this regulation has important implications for the RV industry. The requirements could limit the availability of traditional engine chassis used in motorhome production. This might lead to supply shortages and higher costs for both manufacturers and consumers. The RV Industry Association has raised concerns about these potential impacts on the industry. Legal challenges are expected between California, federal authorities, and industry stakeholders. The outcome will significantly influence the future of motorhome manufacturing and sales, as the industry tries to balance environmental regulations with practical manufacturing capabilities. These developments are particularly important for potential RV buyers and industry professionals monitoring market trends. The 2025 Florida RV Super Show, one of the industry's premier events, wrapped up its 5-day run at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa with mixed results. While attendance dipped to 68,000 visitors compared to last year's 75,123, exhibitors still reported strong sales and enthusiastic buyer engagement. Heavy rainfall on Sunday, January 19th, the show's final day, contributed to the lower turnout. However, as Dave Kelly, executive director of the Florida RV Trade Association, pointed out, the weather mainly deterred casual browsers, while serious buyers still made their way to the event. The show's impressive display featured approximately 1,300 RVs from 27 dealerships, offering something for every taste and budget. Visitors could explore everything from compact teardrop travel trailers to luxurious Class A motorhomes. Beyond the vehicles themselves, numerous accessory booths and suppliers showcased the latest products and services for RV enthusiasts. Despite the challenging weather conditions, the event maintained its position as a vital platform for the RV industry. The strong sales numbers and active participation from committed buyers demonstrated the continued robust interest in the RV lifestyle, regardless of the elements.
California has passed a new regulation aiming to promote zero-emission motorhomes. In the North States News, Sophia Brunsma spoke to business owners at Total Camping today about what impact this regulation might have on the RV industry. She joins us now live in Shasta Lake with more. Sophia?
California's Advanced Clean Trucks Act would require retailers with medium and heavy vehicles to sell more electric options in the future. That would increase each year till 2030.
RV travelers will see significant changes in their Starlink internet service starting February 23, 2025. The current Residential Plus portability plan will be discontinued, with subscribers automatically moving to the Roam Unlimited plan at $165 per month. This change could impact RV users who rely on Starlink for mobile internet connectivity. In positive news for RV travelers, Love's Travel Stops is expanding its RV facilities. The company plans to add 83 new hookups across 17 locations in 2025, bringing their total nationwide RV sites to over 100. This expansion will provide more convenient options for RV travelers needing fuel, rest stops, and hookup services during their trips. Meanwhile, an interesting opportunity has emerged for RV owners in Washington state. Paramount Pictures is currently casting RV owners for roles in an upcoming thriller film. This unique opportunity allows RV enthusiasts to potentially participate in a major Hollywood production. These developments reflect the evolving landscape of RV travel, from essential services like internet connectivity and travel stop amenities to unexpected opportunities in entertainment, all of which could affect how RV owners plan and enjoy their travels. The RV world is changing faster than ever. Will these new policies make RV life harder or just different? Tell us in the comments. And don't stop here. The next video has even more critical updates you need to hear. Click it now, stay ahead, and as always, keep rolling.